Top Shop Live family. Welcome to my kitchen. You won't believe this. I have been talking for the last maybe 5 minutes, thinking that I am live, but I wasn't. This is my first time on the platform. So I walked through all of the steps, literally thinking you were here, but you weren't. I'm so happy to have you in my kitchen. I had to send a quick text to my daughter, and she's like, "You're not live. You're not live. You thought you were, but you aren't." So I'm happy to have you in my kitchen. I did all that talking and started this meal, but I am Shaniqua Cousins. I am an author of Shaniqua Cousins Live Well. I am also a health and life coach, and I am excited to have you in my kitchen. So listen, I started before you guys got here. Hello, Sam. How are you? I love it. Hello. Thank you, Sam. Oh, thank you. I literally love my kitchen. I really do. I love my kitchen. Sam, I'm not sure if you just heard me or not, but I was talking to myself for at least 5 minutes. But I'm happy you're here in my kitchen now, Sam, and you get to see it. Before we jump into the book itself, I want to tell you what we're cooking tonight because I wanted to get it started. It's my kale and sausage soup. It's definitely Olive Garden inspired, and it is one of the recipes in the new book. And so what I've done off camera, thinking I was on camera. Oh, thank you, Sam. Hello, Alisa. How are you? I rendered off some bacon and some Italian sausage earlier. I also added in some diced onions and some freshly diced garlic. And then I just added some herbs into the mix. And so what I'm doing right now, I'm building the base for the kale and sausage soup. Now, here's the thing. For the sake of time, I cooked off the bacon and the onion before the show, but I didn't clean up the pot. That is good flavor. So I didn't want to take that out of the pot because we're building flavor. And so for the bacon, let me just tell you this. When it comes to bacon, always look for nitrate-free bacon, okay? That's just my health tip for tonight. Not just one, but one of my health tips for tonight. Something else that I did because I love the taste of the sausage in the soup, the fennel. I added extra fennel to the party. All righty. Let's see. Hazel said, "Is it healthy to be cooking with that kind of cookbook? Is it a healthy cooking kind of cookbook?" Hazel, let me tell you, my version of healthy cooking is really taking an observation of chemicals in food and not worrying about calories in food. And so I am a certified health and life coach, and I love to tell my clients, don't waste time counting calories, focus more on chemicals. And when you focus on chemicals, meaning you understand what's in your food and you're reducing the amount of chemicals in your food, what you're preparing naturally becomes a healthy meal. And so for me, cooking with love, cooking with flavor, that is healthy. Bringing people into my kitchen, having conversations, really understanding, having, swaps here and swaps there, which we'll talk about, that is healthy to me. Eating salads only, that's not my thing. I'm a Southern girl. I love to cook. I love to cook real food. I focus on nutrient dense food, real food, and as close to its natural state as possible. Okay. So let's walk through this meal a little bit more, and then we're going to talk about the book and a few more things. Okay, Hazel, I hope that answered your question. Right here, I washed and prepared and diced some Yukon Gold potatoes. So we have those in the party. So again, we have sausage, we have bacon, we have herbs, onions, freshly diced garlic. For me, garlic, there's so many health benefits to garlic, but here's my pet peeve. It takes probably, I love to buy garlic in its whole natural state. I'll just say that, right? Buying it in its whole natural state, as close to its natural state as possible for all foods. I would prefer not to buy pre-cut, pre-diced, pre-sliced anything if I could at all prevent it. All righty. So I'll just give that other tip. Now, here's what I'm going to do. This is also in the cookbook. My own beef broth or a chicken broth or veggie broth. This particular one is a beef broth. And what I've done here is I bought some grass-fed beef bones. And as I'm cooking throughout the week, I'm also saving my veggie scraps and just putting it in the freezer. So by the end of the week, I'm starting a crock pot with all of my veggies, adding in a little bit of apple cider vinegar, adding in spices, adding in some peppercorns, so on and so forth. And you know what? Let me make this a little larger so I can really see you guys from over there. Woo, wow, that's large. Victoria, how many recipes are in the book? Victoria, you're going to get over 35 recipes in the book, along with some different tips and techniques. And so we're going to walk through that in a moment. Ooh, wow, that was really large. Tyler, is this book good for teens and college? Yes, Tyler, it actually is. And is it easy enough to follow? It is. And my heart would be so warmed. So my daughter is a college student, and she's now, cooking all of her meals and things like that in her apartment. And she follows the meals that are in this book and also meals that we just have within our family. So yes, Tyler. So here's what we're going to do. We want to get the base of the soup going. I'm adding in this homemade beef broth, and you hear that sound. So the heat is coming down, and it's going to start boiling here in a minute. But the sausage and the peppers and the onions, oh my gosh, I wish you could literally smell this. It's so good. So here we go. Broth in. Now, what we're going to do is also add in a splash of our organic heavy whipping cream. I want to add that in. It's changing the color some. And don't you worry, I am literally going to come over there to you and let you see the finished product. I just wanted to get it up to a boil while we're talking and we're walking through the book itself. So I'm going to put the lid on this. Wait, I need to add a little bit more flavor. I almost forgot. I was so busy talking to Faith. Did you have to test the recipes? And did your family members do? Yes, Faith. Definitely tested all of the recipes that are in the book. These are recipes that I make on my own. Whenever I have a party, I'm using them as guinea pigs, if you would. So I'm testing it out. I also do cooking classes, Faith. And so I have been testing out these recipes for the last almost 2 years, to be honest with you. Some of them are some of my go-to recipes, but some of them I literally have been testing out in in cooking classes. So Live Well, it's not just a cookbook. I do have an actual cookbook, just a standalone cookbook. And so Shaniqua Cousins Flavored with Love is another one of my products. But with the combination of those meals and literally meals from my family, and then meals that I have been testing out over the last almost 2 years, to be honest with you, Faith, they're all in the book here. What I wanted to do and what I just did, actually, I added in some cracked pepper, and now I'm going to add in my favorite pink salt. So as you can see, I'm talking to you. I'm not really measuring here. I'm not measuring. You know when I measure? When I'm writing books. When I'm in my own home, I don't normally measure. So I don't even want to pretend with you like I do. I have been cooking and I know some of you home cooks will agree with me. When you have been cooking for so long, you kind of know because of the way, the consistency, the smell, so on and so forth. And so that's what I just did. Delaney, are you doing a book tour? Delaney, I am. I'm so happy you said that. I'm going to get to all of that very soon, but I am doing a book tour. So I am in the Southern Maryland area, and we're going to be kicking off the book tour starting March 20th. So my website is shaniquacousins.com. So you can go there, sign up for my newsletter. You'll get all of the details. So far, we have confirmed San Diego, LA, we have Chicago, we have Atlanta, we have, what else? We're going up to New York. We're going to be in DC. I'm here in the DMV. So yes, we will definitely be on book tour. So now let me tell you about the book. I am so happy about this book. This is more than a cookbook again. I said it at the top of the show. If you just got here, I'm Shaniqua Cousins, author of Live Well, but I'm also a certified health and life coach. And what I did over the last 2 years is that I combined my cooking, coaching, health and wellness into one. Really, it's a pocket guide. Literally, this is what I did earlier because I wanted you to be able to see this. Not only is the content I believe so much in, the content is so real, but I wanted it to be a book that someone could literally carry around with them that wasn't too heavy. So look, this is my work bag. Here's the book in it, not too heavy. It fits in there. You could be going, I have coaching clients around the country. And to be honest with you, not everyone has an opportunity or has the time or for whatever reason to have a personal coach. And I wanted this book to feel like you had a personal coach with you. And so this is what it's about. So even before you get to the actual cooking in the book, the concept of the book is built off of three pillars: gain knowledge, embrace transformation, and then take action. And a big part of the taking action is about being in the kitchen and truly creating a lifestyle of intentionality and consistency through meals and really through habit change. And that's what I talk about a lot in the book. And I'm very, very excited, like I said. So you're really getting a 3-in-1 in this particular book. Hillary, what are the most common Hillary, your thing went by very quickly. Let me scroll down. What are the most common habits you see that no longer serve people, and how does your book help them get unstuck? Oh, Hillary, let me see. I think the most common habit is the habit, just overarching, I'll summarize it, is the habit of fear. Most things that we do, fear and comfort. Most habits are rooted in comfort, to be honest with you. People are doing things habitually because for the most part, it feels comfortable, it feels safe. That fight or flight is very real for people. And so whenever it's time to make a change, most times it requires an intervention, particularly when you have been doing something for so long, right? And you're not even thinking about it. Habits are really automated behaviors. And so it's also rooted in comfort. It's rooted in familiarity. Oh, I can't even say the word. So one in particular, though, I think it's fear. A lot of times we are afraid to step out, afraid to be the only one, afraid of what people are going to say. And so the alternative for the most part is that we feel comfortable staying in what feels familiar, what feels safe, what feels comfortable. And so as a coach, my job is to assist and support people with getting unstuck from unhealthy habits and replacing them with healthy habits. And so fear could be seen in multiple places, Hillary. So let's see. Are there pictures of the food? Are there pictures, Hillary? Yes. There's pictures of the food. There's pictures of me, Hillary. And I want to let you know the soup that we're making tonight is the soup here, Hillary. That's what we're making. We're making this kale and sausage soup. All of the pictures in the book and all of the styling in the book was actually done here in my home. And so my daughter Jada, she served as my assistant food stylist. I mean my assistant food stylist. And then we also I also hired another local young talent, a photographer, a friend of Jada's actually. He has a photography business, and so he took all of the photos, but we did all of the food styling here in my kitchen. And so this really is a family effort. So here's some spaghetti and mega meatballs. Let's see, what else can I show you in the book? There's so many great, I'm so proud of the work because we actually did it here in my home. And so very, very excited. Do you have desserts? Yes. Desserts, a cocktail or a mocktail. I actually do. Janet, let me show you the mocktail that I have. So I have been drinking a lot of, and no one throw tomatoes. I have been drinking a lot of beet juice over the last couple of years. And so what's in the book in my hydration and glow section, that's me, Shaniqua, in the book, is a beet juice mocktail. Janet, it is delicious. So you're talking about a base of beet juice. You're adding in pineapple juice. You're adding in some fresh fruits in there. And then you're topping it off with a little bit of tonic water or sparkling mineral water. But there are definitely cocktails. Something that I have been doing for years now is my own immunity shots. And so the immunity shots are also in the book. I live off of my immunity shots, and I literally have bought the little bottles, and we do it here in our home with a mixture of apple cider vinegar being the base, and different fresh fruits, not yeah, fresh fruit juices, as well as some turmeric and ginger and honey. I make my own elderberry. So all of that is in here. But even before you get to the actual food, like I said, it is about gaining knowledge, embracing transformation, and then taking action, even before you get into the meals. And so I want to know in the comments, has anyone, if you're comfortable with sharing, has anyone done coaching experience, thought about it, perhaps heard about it, didn't hear about it? I want to know, what's your thoughts on actually on the coaching itself. Chapter 8, let me just read this out to you. I think this will answer some of Hillary's questions. Hillary's okay. So, to care is not to carry. There's oftentimes, and I'm not reading this out of the book right now, there's oftentimes we can care about the people in our lives, but there's oftentimes that we find ourselves carrying the weight of whatever it is that may be impacting them. And while that is admirable, it is courageous to want to carry someone's burdens, if you would, in this particular case. We find ourselves often feeling weighted down, and we could also find ourselves feeling a little bit resentful if you're not careful. And so chapter 8 for me, particularly I'm 47 now, and so I'll be knocking on 50's door here soon. Over the years of my life, I have recognized that there were times in my life where I was caring for people around me, but I was also carrying a lot of the weight of whatever it is that was happening with them. And so for me, I learned that shift between really caring, genuinely caring for people, and helping them to better their lives and getting themselves unstuck without having to carry it, because as you're sometimes carrying other people's weight, you literally are weighing yourself down. And so that chapter for me was very, very important. Let's see, Kristen. Hi, Shaniqua. What personal experiences or turning points made you realize you needed to share this message with others? Oh, so many, Kristen, but I will be honest with you. Over the last several years, I've had the privilege of coaching people, and some of the same messages that was showing up in my life were also showing up in my clients' lives. And so I really would say the turning point or personal experience was deciding that I was worth it, that I was worth everything that I could see for myself, that I was worth doing the work on myself to live a different life. And so I made a few personal shifts in my life, and let go of some relationships, and that can be very hard. But it was about seeing what I believed was possible for me and started moving myself into that direction. And so here's something that I share often with people. We are typically operating off of and moving off of what we believe about ourselves. And so I had to really take a personal inventory of my beliefs. What was I truly believing about myself? And when I got clarity on that, and it takes courage to move outside of something, particularly when you have been habitually operating and functioning in an environment for so long. It takes courage to do it. For me, it was definitely faith and prayer, but I was willing to do it. And so there's so many different moments. I'm just trying to summarize it for you here while we're on, Kristen. So I hope that answered your question. How do you define living well for yourself? And has the definition evolved over time? Jackson, definitely. To me, living well, and the subtitle was of the book, Jackson, is creating a lifestyle of consistency and intentionality. To me, living well literally is being very consistent and intentional about how I'm showing up in my life. And it can be in the smallest mundane moments. I share a story in here about making my bed. I share a story about just sitting at my grandmother's table as a young girl and just hearing the stories and just different family traditions. To me, living well is just creating moments and spreading love. It is really having the courage to walk in who I believe I am and who I've been called to be. And so there are just so many different moments. And living well is not just a set point. So to your question about has it evolved over time, it is continuously evolving. So we're not, I like to tell my daughter, you're not a tree, you can uproot and you can change at any time. Our lives are seasonal. And so not resisting the season of my life, being very clear on where I am and where I'm headed requires quiet time. It requires, the courage to be introspective. It requires just being very often, very authentic in my identity. And so many different things, Jackson. But yes, living well to me is about being very consistent and intentional. It is also about not just saying a thing, but actually embodying it and showing up and being the thing. Okay. Let's see. Hi there. How do you balance being a mom, entrepreneur, and wellness advocate? Cleo, thank you. That is a very, very good question, Cleo. I said just a second ago that life is seasonal, and I embrace the season of life that I am in. So my daughter now, I'm not sure if you were on earlier, Cleo, but I'm 47 now. My daughter is now 21 years old. And so I started my entrepreneur journey when she was about 5 or so. And so what I did was I was very, very intentional and deliberate about my priorities. So for me personally, it has always been God first, then spouse, then child. I mean, God first, then me, my relationship, child. I'm no longer married. So I'm just trying to take that out of the picture there. Child, and then everyone else. And so what I'm saying to you is that I just recognize the season that I'm in, and I don't try to do everything at once. I just build in the season that I'm in, keeping my eyes on the prize, not feeling like I'm missing out, but feeling like I'm being very consistent and being very intentional. And so it is a juggling act as a mom and an entrepreneur and a wellness advocate, but you have to keep first things first. And so taking care of myself, taking care of my daughter. And now, it's like that time really just flew by, putting time into my business. All of those things were happening. It just wasn't, they weren't, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess popping off at the same time, if you would, but still being consistent and being intentional. Are there some small, meaningful food choices people can make today that lead to lasting transformation? Absolutely, Emily. Absolutely. So if you weren't here earlier, Emily, for me, making transformational shifts in your cooking, it's not everything all at once. I keep it simple. I swapped out my oil. One of the best things that you can do is swap out the thing that you're using most often. If for me, it started with the fats and the oils. So I swapped out using vegetable oils for extra virgin olive oils. I swapped out using stuff like margarine for grass-fed butters. I made a swap from um, let's say conventional products to organic products one at a time where applicable. So there are little things that you can do that ultimately create a lifestyle and a transformation, not all at once. So there's one thing, let's just say you're at the supermarket tomorrow and you were hearing about grass-fed beef, or you were hearing about organic milk, and you have a set budget, just make one small swap, and then read up on it, decide what the next swap will be, and just do that for yourself. So transformation just is not everything at once. It's one decision at a time that creates the habit change. Is it possible to help people create sustainable changes? Yes. I mean, that's literally my tagline. Did you see that on my website? I literally tell people we don't do diets. I don't do diets, and I don't do deprivation. I like to cook real meals. And so sustainability to me is not a fad. It's not restriction. It is about creating um, making decisions based off of real food. So I'm not sure if you heard me earlier, but I'm a Southern girl. So I'm originally from Charleston, South Carolina. And growing up, what I didn't have an appreciation for, that I eventually had an appreciation for, my family always cooked. We didn't go out to eat. And so when I was 21, 20 years old, I actually left home at 18. And so I started making my own money. I'm in the Navy doing my own thing. The number one thing I wanted to do was eat out. Like, I am out of here. I have to eat out. And so I did that for probably a few years. And then I got back down to the basics. And controlling the controllables is so important. And so dieting for me is not an option when I'm working with clients. It is about making choices based on nutrient dense meals. So you want to eat food as close to its natural state as possible, as close to its natural state. In my cookbook here, and actually in the Live Well book, now that I'm thinking about it, I made sure I added it in here. I talked to you about shopping in the grocery store, and really avoiding the middle section. When you think about the grocery store, the real food is around the perimeter. So if you fill your cart with the perimeter first, you'll have less space for the stuff that's in the middle. Okay? And so no dieting, no deprivation, real foods, Irene. We want to do real foods. So stay away from processed foods. Denise, yes, you said, girl, just sum this up. Stay away from processed. That's exactly what I'm saying, Denise. Stay away from it as much as possible, Denise. You want to be able to recognize your food. You want to know what's in it. I said at the top of the hour, we don't count calories, we count chemicals. You want to see, if you don't recognize it as an apple or an orange, or something else, if it says yellow number 10, that's a chemical. Yellow number 5, that's a chemical. So you want to be counting those things in your meal. And if there's too many of them, let's just put it down. 5 or more, 5 or less is a yes. Keep that in mind. When you read a package, 5 or less is a yes. Anything more than 6, it's a no. Just that simple. Oh, wow, I never knew that. So the perimeter. Yes, Brett. Yep, the perimeter. Think about it. What's on the perimeter when you come in the grocery store? You're going to come in most stores, because the footprint is pretty much the same. You're going to come in, and to the right, you're going to have your produce. So you're going to have all of your fruits and veggies, and your what is it? Fruits and veggies all around the perimeter. And then you're going to keep going. You're going to hit the meat. Yes, get all of the meats that you want to get. And then you're going to keep going. And eventually you're going to hit the dairy. So get your eggs, get your cheeses, all of that. Okay. So yes, that's what you want to do. Hit the perimeter first. Fill your cart with the perimeter. Then make your way to the middle. Okay. So here's what we did. If you just joined us in the book, I am making my kale and sausage soup. And it is an Olive Garden inspired soup dish. So the base of it is some nitrate free bacon. We have some Italian sausage. There's herbs. I added an extra fennel. There are Yukon Gold potatoes here. We have garlic. We have onions. We have some red pepper flakes because I want to spice things up. You're welcome, Brett. You're absolutely welcome. And then I added in also from the book, some homemade beef stock in the book. Or actually, that might have been chicken stock. I pulled what I had out of my refrigerator earlier. And again, I just make it in my crock pot. I tell you how to make it here in the book. What I'm doing typically is I'm making a big batch on like a Sunday and I'm letting it cook for like 12 hours or something. And then I'm storing it in the freezer and or in containers like this to keep throughout the week so I can easily throw it into dishes. So who was it that asked a question earlier? Let's see, it was I think it might have been Emily. Oh, Emily, I'm just seeing your question about my favorite recipe from the book, but I want to add one more thing about something that you can do today. Meal planning. Meal plan as much as you can. And I don't mean you have to go out and buy all of the containers and prep all of the food on the Sunday. That's not what I'm saying. I want you to have a plan for what you're going to eat. Let's just say for the next 2 days. Just know what you're going to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks, and what you're going to be drinking for the next 2 days. Control the controllables. Take those 2 days, and then the 2 days will eventually probably become 3 days, and then 3 days will become 4 days. And before you know it, you are planning your meals for 2, 3 weeks, sometimes a month in advance. So just plan your meals for the next couple of days. Okay. Do I have a favorite recipe from the book? I'll be honest with you. I love all of the recipes. I really do. I was so intentional about what I put in here. Um, I enjoy every meal from the book. If I had to pick one, I would say it's the shrimp and grits. I'm a Southern girl. Shrimp and grits. It's a staple. I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. And so the shrimp and grits probably would be my favorite because it reminds me the shrimp and grits. I also have another South Carolina staple in here. It's okra soup. So growing up, my mom and my aunts and my grandmothers, they made okra soup very often. And so it's the okra, it's tomatoes, it has corn in it, celery, onions. It's delicious. So that's something that I put in here. I've made my version of it and I put it in here. Emily, shrimp and grits. Yeah, shrimp and have you had shrimp and grits, Emily? So someone asked me about healthy cooking. Again, I said it is about my version of it is about being able to control the controllables. So I don't want you to think that there's just salads in here and just soups. No, I have my southern fried chicken in here, literally made right here in our kitchen. And so the picture that you're seeing in the book here, my daughter Jada actually fried that chicken. I was so proud. My mom heart was so proud. Yes, my mom heart was so proud because she fried the chicken for the book. So again, this book was very intentional, very deliberate as far as the meals, but also the content. Again, I wanted you to be able to take this book with you where you go because a lot of cookbooks are larger, they're heavier. So again, you're not just getting a cookbook, you're getting coaching in here. You're getting the transformational part as far as the health and wellness, and then you're getting to the meals. And then you'll also see in here the different swaps and things that you can do as far as your pantry. And the very last portion of the book, it is about I think it might have been Brett earlier who asked about sustainability. There is a chapter on sustaining and maintaining. So as you're walking through the book and you're getting the tips and you're getting not tips and techniques, that's not even the word that I want to use, but you're having an opportunity to be coached by a coach. You're having space in here and breathing room to have your own reflections and your own introspection. And then at the very back of the book, it is about you sustaining and maintaining. And so it becomes like a journal. It becomes a personal coach for you. It becomes a pocket guide. And I'm so proud of the work and I'm so proud of the tour that we're going to be embarking on and being able to spread this message around the country because there's so many people that are seeking advice on so many topics, but the topic of health and wellness and vitality is so close to my heart and near and dear to my heart. And when we make a connection to the food we eat and how we show up in the world, it makes such a big difference. Literally life changing. So again, I know I'm supposed to be saying something in the chat. I forgot what I'm supposed to be saying in the chat. It's gonna come to me. I'm sure Jada text me and tell me what I'm supposed to be saying in the chat, because the Talk Shop Live people are so awesome. They're so awesome. They prep you for as much as you need prepping, but clearly I forgot because I'm having a good time talking to you all. So here's what I'm gonna do. The soup is going. We have the cream in here from the heavy whipping cream. I put in the kale. I've seasoned it with some salt and pepper. I've added the herbs here. We have some spices. What I'm also going to do, I'm going to be adding in some garlic powder. I'm going to add in some onion powder here. Here we go. Let's see. Jada just texted me. She's going to tell me what I'm supposed to be saying in the chat. Let's see. What am I supposed to say, Jada? Let's see. Okay, the Talk Shop Live people actually text me too. They said, Shaniqua, this is Sam, Talk Shop Live. You should be scheduled. Boom, boom, boom. That's something else. It should be saying Talk Shop Live, shop the chat. Let's see. It looks like we forgot what I'm supposed to be saying in the Talk Shop Live. But here's what I'm going to do, Emily. We're adding in some fresh Parmesan. Speaking of the perimeter, like we talked about earlier, Brett, if you could at all possible, please do this for me. One more swap. When you eat your cheese, you want your cheese to be white. Why? Why do you want your cheese to be white, Emily? Brett, you guys put that in the chat. Why do you want cheese to be white? If you could do anything for my coaching heart, you can make that swap tomorrow. You want your cheese to be white because your milk is white. Okay? Cheese is not yellow. There, I said it. It's not yellow. It's white because milk is white. There we go. No coloring. Brett, you did it. You said it right there. You want to swap something tomorrow? Swap out your cheese. If your cheese is yellow right now, just make that one swap. And then send me an email and say, Shaniqua, I swapped my cheese. I will be so happy. Okay, look, we're adding in some fresh Parmesan. We got that in there. And here is another tip, because I love adding things to the food in a simplistic way. You want to treat your food. You want to definitely flavor your food, but you have an opportunity to treat your food like medicine. So I have been doing this for years. I have been adding flaxseed to just about everything that I cook, everything. No one knows. It serves as, you're getting a lot of omega-3s here. You're getting a lot of fiber, but it also can serve as a binder and a thickening agent. And flax, so good for you. So good. So I sneak it in. I've been sneaking it in for years. Does flaxseed have a taste? It does. I would describe it as nutty, earthy would be the taste, but once you add it into things, you're not going to taste it, Georgia. You're really not, and no one's going to see it. But I have been literally adding flax for probably over 20 years, adding it to foods. No one knows, not at least right away. They don't know. So listen, we have the soup going. It smells so good. I'm going to now add in some raw organic honey right here. Local honey. Actually, this isn't even organic honey. This is local honey. I'm adding it in because, again, honey, another one of those properties, it's that season of the year when there's a lot of things going around. You want to be able to infuse things into your food where you don't have to think about taking another another pill for anything. Use your food as the source. That's what I want you to do. So adding in the honey, because also for me, kale is very bitter. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually sweetening up the kale just a little. Okay. I mean, the soup just a little, just to take that bite off of the kale. All right. So we're just about done. I'm also going to, and this is optional, totally optional. I have some sourdough bread. So I'm going to pop that in the oven because now we get to have the soup, that crusty bread. I'll top it off with a little extra Parmesan. And that's literally going to be my meal tonight because I didn't eat. I was waiting for you all to come into the kitchen with me. So here we go. Putting the top on for just a couple more seconds. Go ahead and pop in your questions, Georgia. What kind of kale are you using? This is just regular curly kale, organic kale. Actually, some of the kales are tougher than others. Yes, I do agree. For me, I don't eat kale raw. I love Tuscan kale. I find Tuscan kale to be a little bit softer. Have you tried Tuscan kale, Georgia? That's probably one of my favorites. The one that I go to often is the curly organic kale. But the Tuscan kale, that's definitely one of my favorites. I'm going to put the bread in the oven and let that bake off. And then before we know it, we're going to be done. Wow, that oven is making a weird sound. So listen, it has been 48 minutes that we have been together. 5 of them, I was by myself. That oven is a lot. Okay. So you have to excuse my oven. 5 of them I was out in a different Talk Shop Live. I don't know what I was doing. I didn't even start the show. But again, I wanted to just share with you the Live Well book project and to share with you that it is literally my version of a coaching pocket guide, starting with the mindset, moving into the kitchen, and ultimately creating a lifestyle that you could live that is about consistency and intentionality. And so, how does your cookbook have vegan? Hi, does it have vegan? Yes, Joan. My aunt's name is Joan. Joan. So I do not have I do have a few. Let me see. As a matter of fact, the dish here on the back. This is my mushroom. I'm going to come around so you can see it, Joan. So this is the um mushroom and onions and what is this, spinach. Oh, I couldn't even get it out. And in the cookbook itself, I am using heavy cream, but you could easily swap it out for like almond milk or something like that. I also have some really beautiful salads in here. Let's see. It's not vegan specific, but there are meals in here that you could swap out. The chili that I have in here, you could easily make that a vegan chili. I also have a few different drinks in here that would be great. The crunch salad is in here. There's a radicchio salad that's here with some pears. And so thank you, Joan. I really appreciate that. My daughter and I did all of the food styling and she was my assistant. And so here's that dish that's on the back cover. Doesn't that look delicious? Look at that. So that's mushrooms, it's onions, it's pasta. Again, you would just take and swap out the cream. I also believe I put butter in there, so you would just use a vegan version of the butter. And see, sounds delicious. It is delicious. Now, I think that probably is my favorite. I said the shrimp and grits earlier, but that probably is my favorite. The meatballs, you could do a vegan meatball, Joan, maybe. So the pasta sauce that's here. The meatballs, of course, I'm using some ground meat there. Let's see, trying to think. We have kebabs here. I love chicken kebabs. You could take the chicken out, Joan. Just make it your own. Yes. Did I take the photos? I did not take the photos personally. I hired a friend of my daughter's. He's a photographer. He's a local photographer. So they both went to college together and he has his own business. And so he was a photographer. So I love that we got an opportunity to, my daughter is a film major. And so I was basically utilizing these 2 college students to support. And here's what we have. The Live Well book came together. The photographs of the cover and the photos of me are from a photographer that I have been using for years. We're like family, but the food photos are were taken from Christopher Bowen is his name, and his information is in the book as well. And so thank you, Candace. I appreciate it. That photo on the cover embodies what I feel about the book, the content, the movement of Live Well. This is about a movement. So we will be traveling the country and spreading the word of what it means to live well and having different discussions in bookstores and eateries. And the book tour again is kicking off March 29th here in Maryland. I mean, March 20th in Maryland, and then we're moving West Coast. We're going East Coast. We're going down south. We're coming to New Orleans, 4th of July weekend. And so if you're not already on my newsletter list, which many of you probably aren't because this is my first time here out on Talk Shop Live, if you go out to shaniquacousins.com, you can sign up for my newsletter and get all of the information. There's more information on the Live Well movement, and there's obviously more information about me. You can get to know me well, and I have just been so honored to have you all in my kitchen tonight. Candace, oh, thank you. I want to see you too, Candace, and thank you. I appreciate that. And so where are you at, Candace? Because I want to come in, I want to meet you in person out on the book tour. And, I'm a Southern girl. I like to hug people and, talk. And I want to know about your Live Well. What is your version of living well? And that's one of the guides here in the book also. I talk about quality because living well is different for every person. What this book is, it's a guide about building those standards for yourself, defining quality for yourself. Cali, you're in Cali, Candace, so we're coming to San Diego and we're coming to LA. We're going to be coming to San Diego May 20. We'll be out in San Diego the 21st and 22nd of May. And then we're moving on to LA. So we'll be in LA like the 23rd, 24th. And so all of those details, again, once you go out on my website, you'll find all the details there. But we are coming to Cali. Are you near San Diego or LA? That's what I want to know, Candace, because I do want to see you. So now the moment of truth, people, 7:55. Look at that. The moment of I'm just reaching here to get me a ladle. I'm going to spoon out some of the soup. Ooh, look at that. Delicious. You're in LA. Yes, let's do it, Candace. Let's do it. I want to see you at the book tour. All right, look at this soup. The broth on this soup, delicious. Look at that. And we did it all in 30, 40 minutes? I love it. Don't worry, I'm going to come around to you. Don't you worry. Put the top on that. Here we go. What you could do, look at that. It's right there. You can take it, put some fresh herbs on here, just some additional, well, these aren't fresh herbs, they're dry herbs. What you will find here too is my herb garden and what I'm growing. And if you want to grow herbs, you can grow them too, but they're definitely in the book. We're going to take and we're going to top this with some fresh parm. Any other questions before we end for tonight? I'm looking forward to having you all in my kitchen again and, getting to see you guys on book tour. I'm hoping that you will, of course, make a decision for yourself and, decide that living well is your thing, that it's who you are. And if this book could be a resource to you, I would just love the opportunity to travel with you in your purses, in your car, in your, on your bookshelf, in your kitchen. I just shared yesterday that I put the book in my kitchen for the first time, and I was so excited. So, Brett, you're welcome. You're welcome. Now, don't forget, we have the bread too. And Brett, don't forget, Shop the perimeter. White cheese, not yellow. Let me get the bread because I want you to see the full situation here. And this is some organic sourdough bread. If you're going to eat a bread, I would prefer a sourdough myself. Fermented foods, they're good for you. And if you can get some organic ingredients, even better. Thanks for cooking for us. You're welcome, Brent. I love it. I love cooking, having people in my home and cooking. Now look at that. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Put a little bit of fresh pepper on top. That's dinner. That is dinner. And don't you worry, I'm going to take a TV bite for you. I'm going to bring it around so you can see it up close and personal. But look at this. Oh, it's so hot. So hot, so delicious right here in my kitchen, living well. That's what's happening. Candace, I'm happy I'm making you hungry. I am happy because I want you to cook in your kitchen, Candace. Okay, let me take the TV bite for you. Let's see, what do you have? What else do you have? You have me for a couple more minutes. Go ahead, dig in, ask me a question. I'm here for you. Mm. Oh my gosh. Mm. Listen, this is so delicious. I cannot even, the simplicity of this, I can't make it up. Well, I did make it up, but you know what I'm saying. Ooh, it's delicious. Think about it, what we did. You have homemade chicken stock. You have some bacon and Italian sausage, so you're getting your protein. You have and don't get me wrong, bacon and Italian sausage both are processed, but what I'm so going back to the earlier question, control the controllables. Eat mostly the perimeter of the grocery store. So there's no deprivation here. We're eating hearty foods. We're eating we're eating the both versions of pork, but it's still rooted in goodness. We have extra virgin olive oil. We have onions that we sliced and diced. We have garlic. We added in properties like omega-3 from the flaxseed. We added in the honey. There's a little spice here. And it's just so good. Like so much goodness is in here. Not to mention we have the kale. This kale is just delicious, healthy, hearty meal. So, anywho, I am so happy to have you all in my kitchen. Georgia said, yes, I'm going to pay attention more to the perimeter. Georgia, please pay attention. Don't go in the middle. Please don't go in the middle first. Go in the middle because you do need stuff, but make it the last option. When you start filling up your cart with the perimeter, you will naturally help to detoxify your body, literally. Because again, if you come into my house, we're not worried about calories. I don't have time to be counting calories. I got too many other things going on. But I will count a chemical because the chemical, that's a different situation. Okay, let me eat some of this right here. So good. Delicious. This is me dropping the mic. Delicious. When you get the book, you got to try this meal. You got to send me a photo. It's delicious. The bread is sopping up all of that juice. Delicious. Alrighty. In the meantime, in between time, let me drink first. You all have a wonderful, wonderful night. I look forward to having you in my kitchen again. I look forward to seeing you all at one of the stops on the book tour. I look forward to signing a copy of Live Well for you all. So make sure you go out and you get yourself a copy. I would love to be in your backpacks, in your work bags, on your shelves, in your kitchen, and just supporting you with your Live Well goals. So I will see you the next time for another show. Try this recipe as soon as you get the book. Give it a try. All right. In the meantime, in the between time, you be blessed. Have a great night and enjoy the rest of your week.